Hello, and welcome back to the Sour Cream and Watermelon Podcast. It's episode 3.
Hello.
There's
Okay,
a
finally, just
background
got there.
noise in my mic if you don't hear it. So,
Okay, hello, goodbye.
there goes our host. I'm your host, Sour Cream. Our other host just left, so much for that. Rest in peace. We got our co-host here, Jack, aka Jack.
How it going, guys?
I'm turning you up because your volume is low. Give me a second.
Okay.
I have your volume up to 174%. I think it's set. That'll do.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
That'll
sad.
do. Sorry, my dog's walking in the
Yeah,
background. Anyways,
I can't. Okay. So,
we got Lemons
today,
joining. He'll be late.
yeah, we got Lemon. He's gonna be late. That silly little Lemon guy.
Silly goose. Lemons are for
Yeah.
dogs.
All right. Have you heard? If for any of the any Gorillas fans listening out there to the podcast, new Song Machine just came out. Their new album, Strange Times.
Listen to it. Also, buy our merch.
Yeah. Please buy the
Already
merch
promoting that. That didn't take
because
long.
we're
My
poor.
dog's on the
We just need
beds making noise. Sorry.
we need money,
Lots
please.
of it. We have trips planned. That's why we need money.
Yes, and
Fund
I
us.
don't want to be the only person who has a job who's giving money to the trip funds.
Please. I might put $245 in here soon. Because I looked through my
Uh,
old Pokemon cards and I found a rare one. So
yeah,
that'll be good.
yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so weird. Pokemon is like so popular right now.
Oh, yeah, I know. It just like blew up. Like right when I decided to sell mine, too. I just looked at them. The next thing I
Yeah, I
know,
know.
Logan Paul's doing something on him. That's what really made it
Yeah,
blow up, unfortunately.
didn't he get scammed or something like that? He got scammed off of like a Charizard or something like
No,
that.
he just spent a lot of money on it.
No, yeah,
$150,000. Or was it 200?
and then it was and then it was fake.
I didn't know that.
It was fake. That's what
Hmm.
I heard. I might be
That's
wrong. Don't quote me on that one.
that's crazy. But
Yeah, I know. Super
yeah.
crazy. You spend like over $100,000 on a Pokemon card, and then to realize, and then like you get it, and it's a fake.
Yeah.
That just really sucks.
Well, he spent what,
Like,
250K?
yeah, I think he did. It was either 100K or 200K.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty hefty. So I
For a
mean, like,
Pokemon card. Mine's like
yeah, for
$245. Just there's no extra zeros or any commas in it.
yeah, I think we have a few that might be worth 500. Because my aunt, she was a big Pokemon collector,
Yeah.
and then she doesn't do anymore, and so she gave all her old cards to us
Mhm.
when we were little, and so now me and my brother have them, and so we're like, so should we sell the really expensive ones or just keep them?
Yep.
But
Kind of.
we haven't done anything with that right
Yeah,
now,
but the
so
longer you
kind of
keep them, the more expensive they're gonna get. Mostly around now
yeah,
when Pokemon's getting big again.
yeah, which is kind of getting popular, and so we're
Which
just
is why
gonna
I'm thinking of selling mine now actually because people actually are looking
yeah
at cards and I
yeah
don't want mine.
because
I'd rather have money.
yes, I think everyone would rather have money.
Not for me though, for the
That's what
trips and stuff.
well, yeah. So, but I was like, so I was thinking I could get two jobs actually. I could work one job at the movie theater and one
Mm,
job washing cars at our uh car dealership. And
right.
I was like, no, that's way too much work.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have a
I
job right
don't
now.
I mean the freaking the theater's hiring, so I
Oh,
mean,
really?
yeah, they're hiring.
Well, are movies even back?
Yeah, they're doing at 25% capacity, which is just like their usual normal
Yeah.
rate that they do like on a daily thing.
All right.
So I mean, yeah, the theater's trying to open back up so they can make some money.
That makes sense. I mean, everyone's low right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's been out
I
of their
mean,
jobs. But I mean, they're about to let fourth grade back. Isn't it fourth grade?
no, I think cuz when kindergarten,
That's already back. It's K through 2, I'm pretty sure right now.
yeah, K through 2 and then now it's 3rd and 4th and then it's going to be 5th and 6th,
Hmm.
then middle school
Well, no.
and then
What I heard they're doing like 7 and 9 and then 8 and 10, so there's less people in the schools, you know? which makes
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna mute my
So,
mic. Just do filler talk. Give me a second.
yeah, no, I was hearing about that, and so I'm still confused on the whole like grades, like how they're gonna like put the grades into each school or something like that. I just because I know we're gonna be like one of the last we're still in high school, so first no kindergarten first,
Mhm.
uh second. It's K through second, right?
I think so right now. Something like that.
Yeah, it's K through second, and then they're going third through fourth, and then fifth through sixth. And I think they might do middle schoolers. Like, I think that's when they're going to start going like either 2 grades or 1 grade.
Well, they were talking about like every other week here soon, letting people in, which is dumb considering we have more cases than we started. We're not going down. We're not
Yeah.
slowing. It's going faster right now. And cold
Yeah,
season. Cold season has a lot of the same symptoms, and also
Yeah,
really
so
contagious, and that's gonna send a lot of kids home. And then flu season
yeah,
hits.
yeah, and then everyone's going to think they got COVID, and then they're going to close the school down again.
And then the teachers are gonna have to adjust again, and everyone's gonna fall behind
Yes.
some more.
I kind of like this online school, because it's like
That's
I can
alright.
get all my work done one day, and then I'm free the rest of the week.
I guess. You mind adding butters really quick? Lemons.
Yeah, let me go.
Just in general.
But I'll do that.
Thanks. As he really has a
Maybe you should
topic he
plug
really
in-
wants to talk about.
Maybe yeah, we have a good topic for you listeners out there
Out there.
on the
On the YouTubes.
on the YouTubes
And
or
the
the
Spotify.
Spotify
Or
whatever.
well, we just got back up on it's like Stitches or something weird like that. I don't know. It's some other app. Stitcher. It's another thing. I'm working on getting it on Apple Podcasts and Pandora.
Yes, Apple Podcasts.
It's really hard though.
I don't think
They've got weird stuff
The
going.
only-
I don't know.
the only people who listen to Pandora are I want to say older people, but I feel like
Yeah.
not all of them listen to Pandora.
I use Pandora every now and then.
I
Only when I'm at home,
I don't
because well, it's because they have that feature where you can get like any song when you just listen to
Right.
one ad. You know,
Well, I mean,
yeah, given
my
it is
phone,
a 30-second ad.
my phone is broken, so basically, I can go on my on Spotify, like on my For You, my daily mix one, and I could just pick any song. And then if an ad pops up, I just close the app, and then I just go back into it, and then the next song plays.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I can get basically like unlimited ad, like no ads at all, and just listen to all my music.
Right. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. But I mean, like Spotify Premium though, I don't really see why there's a reason.
I don't.
For it.
Yeah, I don't like spending. I'm not gonna spend any money on any of that kind of stuff. The Amazon Unlimited, all that stuff. I'm not really
No, I
worth
mean,
it.
my parents pay for the Amazon Unlimited, so I can
Yeah.
listen to. I can get the Amazon Prime Music and stuff.
There's a lot of it.
But I'm just too lazy to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. It's just like I'm sticking with Spotify because I have all my music on there. I don't
And
want to
that's
have
where
to.
we are. That's where one of the big places we're located. Currently,
I just
our
don't.
highest app. I mean, what? We had the most listeners through Spotify. So shout out Spotify listeners.
Yeah.
We
Everyone
love you.
who listens.
Sorry about the
Yes. Yes. We love you guys for listening. Thank you so much.
YouTube too.
Okay.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, yeah, YouTube as well. You guys can help out just a
Gotta
little
love
bit,
YouTube,
but
yeah.
Spotifyers, we're here for you.
There's something special.
Yes,
I don't know what it is, but it's something.
something. Yeah.
Anyways.
Let me try getting.
Let's talk about our messed up posting schedule.
Oh yes, our posting.
So the second one
So-
came out today, along
Yes.
with this one, which will be the third. So
Yes.
it's messed up. It's
And
been
the-
a month. It's been probably more than a month at this point since the first one came out. So
Yes, and
we're having some issues.
last podcast we indicated it's been like 3 weeks, and
We said it was
like
2.
3.5. No, I thought it was 3.5.
We were saying 2 because now it's 3. Because, no, we recorded on a Thursday.
Yeah, we record on Thursday. It's
So,
Saturday.
yeah, I guess it is like an and a half.
Yeah, so I mean, but yeah, the recording schedule is pretty whack. I literally just got off work 30 minutes ago.
Messed up.
Yeah, and the recent one, go listen to that if you haven't listened to
In a
it
second.
already. And we might be getting Lemon joining right now.
Yeah, saying it.
Maybe for another 10 minutes, we can just kind of talk
He's
until he
saying he can
joins.
only be on 4. That's sad.
Oh,
Depressing.
I can't read.
Come on.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of sus.
That's sus.
Not gonna lie. How do you feel about Among Us? How popular it's been,
I played it for a while.
dude? Like it was
game.
popular. It was like, so it first started out in
Welcome,
like
Lemons.
2012, and it wasn't popular at all.
Mhm.
And then now all of a sudden it just
It just
spiked.
blew up. What was that about? What started that?
I know it's just so weird, you know. It's just like
Yeah.
blew up out of nowhere.
For like no reason. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
That
the
wasn't
only
10 minutes. That was about 10 seconds. What was that about?
Yeah.
All right, then.
So I guess we're not going to be talking about.
We can still do it.
Yeah, well, we can still do it because
Make him
yeah.
depressed.
Yeah, so zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
scenarios. So I have a few questions I'd like to ask you, Sour Cream,
Mm-hmm.
about what would you do in a zombie apocalypse scenario. So the first scenario is, so you have your pet dog with you. We're gonna do Will Smith, the one zombie movie where he's in. Forgot what it was. So you have your.
I want to figure out what that one was called. That was it wasn't zombies. It was
I Am
vampires. It was
I Am Legend.
Yeah,
I Am Legend.
that was vampires actually. No one ever
Well,
thinks
same.
it is, but no, it's not.
Well,
End of the world
anyways.
scenario. I get it.
So, anyways,
Hey.
so you have.
There he is.
Okay, so you have your dog,
Yep.
and you're almost out of food. What do? Do you, feed the rest of the food to your dog, or do you just take the rest of the food for yourself and leave your dog to starve?
You know what I do?
What? Yeah, what would you do?
Okay, so what I do is I'll go on the computer, and when I'm on the computer, I'll search up Teespring/stores/sour cream and watermelon, and buy me, caught me some of that great merch, great quality.
This somehow turned into a
promo.
A promo for our merch, which I
Use the promo
did
code.
not need.
Use the promo code
Yeah.
SCWPOD, all caps, no spaces, for 15% off.
Yeah. So, anyways, what would you
Yeah.
actually do in that scenario, though?
Eat the dog.
You would eat the dog?
Yeah.
That's not even an answer I listed. You just
Even more food.
I would probably leave the dog.
No, don't leave it.
Yeah.
You're just leaving food.
no. It's like
The dog would be able to survive for itself.
So let
Yeah,
it provide
well,
for
but
itself.
it's like-
Let it fatten itself up, then eat it.
lemon.
Antonio.
Let me tell you something. So that dog has been with you since the apocalypse started. You're about a year and a half into it. You haven't seen any form of like humans or anything. That's your only friend. You apparently either eat the dog, give the dog the rest of your food and find more food for yourself, or you just don't give the dog any food and you just like leave and you just eat the dog.
Eat the
No,
food
not eat
and
the
the dog. Eat the food and the dog.
You just
Well, I
eat the
guess
food and you.
In that situation, I would give the dog my food and find more for myself.
No,
I mean, a
eat the
year
dog.
in, you would probably already know how to like hunt and stuff. So
Hunt the dog.
no,
So that's Rise.
Eat the dog and the
That's
food.
sour cream.
It's even more
Rise
sour.
is a cat person.
You, no, I'm not. I'm a dog person. Might be a goat person.
I think he might be a little bit of everything.
I would eat a cat
person.
too.
Okay.
Oh,
I'd eat a
my
human.
God.
I have another scenario for you guys.
Okay, listening.
So, So you found civilization,
Mhm.
and you're a scientist, and
Smart.
you figured a way to develop a cure, but it's only enough for a certain amount of people
Right.
for the virus. Would you take the cures for the virus, the certain amount that you can only give to like a certain amount of people? Would you take that and and run off with it and just get bitten and use it for yourself? Or would you like help people out and actually like try to give it to some infected people, or try to make more vaccines?
Uh,
I'd
uh,
try to like make more vaccines and help other people.
I think I would
I
use it as
mean,
a bribe. Do what I say, or
immediately
throw it on the
goes
ground.
corrupt.
Hey, I have this virus. I have this virus capsule thing that can get rid of the virus. Okay, give me every gun you have or all your food. Because if you want this, you're not getting it until you give me food.
And then you throw it on the ground and kill him.
Yes.
Ha!
They give
I
you the
win.
food, you throw it on the ground, and you kill them.
No, not the food. You take the food, and then you take
Yeah,
them
no,
too
you
to eat
take the
them.
food. Yeah, no, you take the food. You throw the capsule on the ground. It
And
shatters.
take their kids.
Eat the kids. Eat the kids.
Well, no, we're not eating the
Eat the
kids.
children.
No, not
No.
the children.
Yes, only the children. Nobody
Not
else.
the no, no not the children.
Use the others for bait to get a
Why
pet
would
zombie.
Oh my.
Okay, Lemon,
Then
do
you
you
have
have
someone to
any
talk
scenarios
to.
for us?
No, not really. I mean, like talking about the apocalypse,
I
probably I
mean,
would. I've got like a whole plan for what I would
okay.
do.
Let's hear your plan.
So, like as soon as it happened, I'd go to like the nearest hardware store, like Walmart and stuff,
Hmm.
and get a whole bunch of like fishing supplies and a whole bunch of like
Just
hand
hunting gear.
tools and stuff.
That's good.
Yeah, hunting
Hunting
and
gear.
fishing gear,
And camping
maybe
gear.
some tents and
Yeah.
and like tarps. And then
Knives.
like along the coast, the Pacific coast, there's a whole bunch of islands, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
CSAT kind of stuff. I'd
Hmm.
bring my stuff out to one of those and just set up a base camp up there. Cause
Good
like,
idea. What I would do is, so I'd obviously go to near hardware store, like everything store, like Walmart, or maybe like something like that. I'd take a bunch of batteries, take like all the stuff you were saying, hunting stuff, and apparently, like from what I've heard, you can
yeah,
take
then
their
I'd
they
hop in my
used to have guns.
Bronco.
They used to have
Bronco.
guns from they used to have guns like in Walmart, but
They
I
still
don't think
do.
they have them
No, they do
anymore.
around here.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd take the guns, take the batteries, take all the stuff you were saying, Lemon, but
Hmm.
instead I would go up into the mountains because zombies, hypothetically, they won't be able to survive in the cold,
Hmm.
like cold conditions and
They'd at
stuff. So
least
I'd
slow
go
down.
somewhere where it's cold, but not like freezing temperatures. But like I'd basically like live up there, like up if it were in Port Angeles, I'd live up in Hurricane Ridge, and I'd just blow
Hmm.
up the road so no one else can come up. You'd have to walk up or walk down,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and I'd just live up there with either like my family or just a bunch or a dog.
I would
Yeah.
live in a treehouse.
I think also if I was at like Home Depot, the Petco is already by the Home Depot, so I just go in and
Yeah, so
grab like the
an animal,
like
a
an
ferret.
animal or something,
Something to
something to
keep you
have as
sane.
like a pet.
Something to keep you
I mean,
in check.
I'd grab the I'd grab a goldfish. They're worth nothing.
It's not
Just
like
grab
you're
all
gonna
the
buy
gold.
him.
I
You
mean,
just take him
but
at that
still,
point.
it's just like everyone's going after the dogs and the
I'd take a
cats and
pet
stuff.
human.
I'm just over here taking the fish.
I'd take Caleb. I'd grab him, put him on a leash,
Oh my gosh.
force him to do what I
Okay.
say. I'd use my belt if he didn't behave.
Bad,
Wow.
bad.
Then
Bad
I'd
idea.
No,
honestly the best thing to do is a treehouse. And if you go to Home Depot
yeah,
or
that is
something,
actually
you get in a truck, like a big truck or something, a semi. You fill up the back of it with just wood and nails and everything you can find. You go to giant trees, you climb them, you start building. You build structures and you build places to live, and then you build rope ladders and stuff for easy access.
That's actually a smart idea because zombies can't climb trees.
Yeah. And if
And
you have a
can
rope
build like
ladder,
a retractable ladder or something.
or a rope ladder, which if there's somebody up there, they throw it down. Only if you're a
Mhm.
human. And you can always cut it
Yeah.
too. If it's made of like rope or something, you can always cut it in case the person has a knife or a gun.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, trying to harm you.
Or you could move on top of a building. Use the ladder, kick the ladder down, move on top of the building. I say as I look at the barn. The barn outside would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
You could just like live in the middle of nowhere, like
I mean,
live
you
that's
could,
in
true.
Eastern
but they'd
Washington
find you eventually.
But I mean, but it's like it's gonna take them forever to go there because you're in the middle of nowhere and you
Yeah.
have all your food supplies and stuff ready. You know, like they're gonna like zombies are gonna end up like coming after you, but you have like all these like tractor equipment and all like a truck. You got your
Yeah.
tractor.
Anything
you
you
got
want,
like
basically.
you have everything.
You got a
You
McLaren
basically
F1.
just you just run them over. That's what I would do.
You could like strap stuff to the front of it.
Yeah, like if you had
Just go drifting.
like a big heavy duty 2500 Ram, you could just like strap a bunch of like sharp metal pieces to it and just run into them.
Or my idea, you could take a semi, bolt it so it's not, how a semi's like the back of it is separate. It moves separately. You bolt it so it's all one piece, and then you drift and you just bowl. You just take a ton out,
Yeah, you could. Or
mean,
you could live
and then
in
you tip.
like an
Then you tip and die.
you you could live in you could live in a semi truck. You could kind of make like a semi truck
Yeah.
camper.
Treehouse would
Like,
be
you
smartest.
But I mean, like, so if you had a semi truck camper, kind of, you're basically constantly moving. So if you like find one place to stay and then zombies start taking over,
Yeah,
you basically
drive,
just
yeah.
get in and you just drive and you just run them over.
Well, motorhome seems perfect.
Like an island on the coast too, because like the only
Yeah,
way they could
'cause
get
the
there
way-
was if they swam, and zombies can't swim.
They just
like,
drown.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't
They
really
just
drown. They just
drown, yeah.
float away.
So let's
They
say,
would,
let's
they
say,
would
There's
get
your
swept
issue, though.
away.
There's your issue. How would you find another human? Because you need to repopulate to continue the human race. Steal
That is-
steal
You would
somebody.
Bring them with you.
Yeah, steal them. Put them on a leash. Throw them in a dog carrier.
okay.
I
So
think that's just me.
let's switch the zombie situation up a little bit. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
the zombies are not normal zombies, like in The Walking Dead where they
Yeah.
can't really do much. Let's say
They're
they're
stupid.
World War Z zombies
So
and they're freaking like
hyper-intelligent.
acrobatics sprinting at you full
Hyper-intelligent.
speed. Yeah, hyper intelligent zombies. What'd you do in that?
Give up.
Give up hope.
Die.
No, because
Just on my own accord.
if you're taking this from the World War Z point of view, they want a host that's not infected with any disease. So you just basically give
Sacrifice
yourself
Caleb.
diabetes. You just give yourself diabetes, and they won't attack you.
I already have asthma, so like,
So I mean,
I would sacrifice
kind of.
Caleb.
Or you could
Or,
give
like-
yourself E. coli.
but like
Something that
even then,
wouldn't
like
do much.
island would work because it would be easy to like defend.
Unless they
You
ended
know?
up climbing to a point where they made a bridge out of their own bodies. Kind of like how they climb
Yeah.
up things.
Yeah,
There's
but
the
by
issue.
then you would have already been able to
Yeah, you'd be
move.
ready. And then you can move to the next place, I guess. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and you have
I'd probably
a
just
boat. So I mean, if you're
one bullet, one
Hawaii,
gun,
if you lived
end
in
it.
Hawaii, you basically
No.
just close off any like airplane, like if it's already
Yeah, but
flying
even then,
midair.
if
Hawaii's a bad idea.
but like Hawaii would be
Tourists.
too easy to be infected because there's so many people there.
There's so many
I'm
tourists.
talking like a little tiny like
Yeah.
remote one, like off the coast.
Honestly, like one of those islands that if you go to, the natives will kill you. One of those islands.
Or like one of those
just
islands
hope they
like
all left.
Mr. Beast gave away.
Yeah, just a non-touched island, a remote island.
like down in Florida or something like
And
that.
you just get a boat, and then you just store gas and stuff, and just live there for a while.
Yeah.
That
And then
in
they
that case, a
farm or
treehouse wouldn't
something.
work. Treehouse would not work
But
if you're
then
talking about zombies.
then you'd run out of gas. If you ran out of gas, you'd have to revert to solar energy or like battery or something like that, like using batteries and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Or
if
you
you
could use
stock
tidal energy.
or if you stocked up in gas to a point where you had a lot, like that's just what your boat is filled with, and you only
Just
moved when
like
necessary, you could pull that off. Because you wouldn't have
But
to
there's
move too
also
much.
like
It'd take them a while to get
tidal
there.
energy as well. You could get
Solar would
the
make
currents
sense.
and stuff.
hydro
All you would
energy,
need
yeah,
is a
that's
All of them.
another
Honestly, all of them.
Yeah.
like any sort of energy, you'd be set.
You use
Any
all of
sort of
them.
renewable energy.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially
renewable
wind, no,
energy.
honestly, especially wind energy if you're on an island because you're
Sailboat.
literally in the middle of an ocean. You're literally getting wind blown at you all the time.
Use a
You
sailboat.
basically you use wind energy, you know, like a windmill.
Yeah.
There you go. You got
Yeah.
You'd have to like
never-ending
build it
energy.
yourself. But you could do that.
Yeah, you could
Yeah, it's
easily
not
Just bring
that hard.
parts. You could just bring parts from where you came
All you'd
from.
have to do is bring like a generator or something and wire it up with the windmill, and then whenever the wind blows, it would power up the generator.
generate.
Honestly-
Get some sort of like chargeable battery.
If it was like stupid zombies, I think I would make it a while.
Everyone, but if they're stupid zombies, everyone would make
Yeah,
it
a lot of
while.
people. Okay, so here's one
And,
thing
like-
though. If you were, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit just for now. Say you were
Okay.
Say you were homeless. What would you do?
Oh,
You had no source of money. You had reggy clothes, and you weren't that smart, so you couldn't actually like do smart things on the side of a road.
so you take this from The Walking Dead. You basically cover yourself in. This might sound really gross for the listeners out there, but you basically cover yourself like in like zombie-ness. So you just roll around in dead zombies, and you basically make yourself look like a zombie so you could fit in, kind of. Because in The Walking Dead, I think they did that
What did
in
they
one
call 'em?
episode.
They had a name. It was like
What?
the Whisperers or something. They had a name for it. I don't remember.
Yeah, but they did something like that in The Walking Dead. So if you're basically taking like a dumb zombie from like The Walking Dead or any other zombie movie, they won't be able to tell the difference because they'll be like, "Oh, you smell like me. You're not human. You are zombie."
I'm gonna switch it up even
Mhm.
more and say, just on a non-zombie apocalypse point of view, what would you do if you were just, say right now, your mom kicked you out of your house, gave you nothing but the clothes you had, and told you to just survive? I'm taking a break on the zombies, by the way. I'm just saying, hypothetically, you get
Just
kicked out.
survive.
Yeah, how would you
I would
live? And
Um,
let's say you live in Seattle. So you're in the city.
Well, you'd like being like, you have to kind of like, if your mom just kicks you out and you have to survive, you could either, go to like what's it, like a Salvation Army place or a place where they like have homeless people there, to take care of, to
Camps.
get you up back on your feet.
The camps.
I would go there. Then I would immediately
The
get
slavery
a
camps.
job. Well,
kidding.
I'd first off, kind of get a job.
Yeah.
After I get like myself back on my feet.
Mhm.
And then like, I have a job, and then I'd start kind of living on my own. I wouldn't live in Seattle because Seattle is like a super expensive place to live in. I'd move to somewhere like give me a place that's cheap to live at.
Port Angeles.
Well,
Squid.
someplace like a small town, I'd move there,
What's it called?
and then I'd get a job there, and
it's
I'd
not
just
Joyce.
make money and survive like that.
Actually, it might be Joyce. I don't know.
CQ.
CQ, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's what I would do.
Okay, so say, if I were like in Seattle, that's where I lived, I would start by begging for money just to get enough to go on a ferry ride to go across. And then I think you guys have seen the Instagram and stuff, but I would move back. I'd get here. I'd walk around until I found a good, nice hill or something, something kind of out more. Not country, but more like.
Let me guess, you're gonna dig a hole.
I'm gonna dig a hole.
So you're just gonna be homeless for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna make.
No,
a
you'd
home.
have a home.
I'd make a home.
It'd be a hobbit hole.
I would make a home. I could totally do that. I've done it before.
Yeah, I could. Well, yeah, sour cream. We all know you. You've definitely done it.
The chimney collapsed, by the way. It's now uninhabitable. you know?
Yeah.
The roof took it.
So is the roof still holding up in your place, in your little hut that you made?
So the issue is, I only used one, like, I took the big logs from trees and stuff, and I would lay them down. I'm going to explain this to people who have no idea what I'm talking about. I dug a hole.
And he made a house.
A big hole.
You know those
Indian dudes.
Indian guys? You know those Indian dudes who just make houses out of mud and stuff, and they're like super cool? Well, Rye did that, but it's not super cool, and it's
Here.
just made out of mud.
If
and
you-
moss and
You can
grass.
check out
If
his
you,
Instagram.
yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna shout it out. It's literally called The Hole on Instagram. THE
Yes.
space HOLE.
The hole.
The Hole. So,
But that's
Originally-
what you do if your mom kicked you out.
yeah,
If your parents kicked you out.
I would just move down there actually and try hiding without them figuring it out. Then steal stuff every now and then, like firewood, because I wouldn't be able to down trees too often, because that's a noise and obvious. But on my way out,
Yeah.
I'd sneak a hatchet or something. That's all I would need, a shovel. So, anyways, the way I dug this hole, I don't know if you guys fully know this actually. So I actually started digging it. It was so this goes back years ago. I started with me and neighbor Joe. I'm not saying his last name. I've talked about him a few times on this podcast, but
Just Joe.
just Joe, neighbor Joe. Him and I, we grew up together, and we full on, like, we're those outdoor people, you know. We make forts and stuff. In fact, we made a little tree fort next to the road that we spent the night in, because we made little like out of sticks and stuff and twine and homemade twine. We made like levels in a tree. It was really, really cool, and we slept in it. So, but anyways, we started by finding. I have a pond on the lower part of my property, and so we went down there, went searching for a spot. There's like a swamp down there, just muck. It's horrible, and you can just get like, it's like quicksand. It'd go up to your knee in a minute of struggling. So we tried getting closer to the pond where all the dirt was excavated from the pond and had since grown over into just a natural hill. And we used part of the hill. We didn't actually touch the hill at this point, which was kind of a hole too. But we decided to. There's trees surrounding it because there's trees everywhere around here, and we ended up building stuff around these trees to make like a little area. And this is when everything started. So we had an entire like house made of branches and logs. At this point, it was branches. It was like green branches and stuff like that. So by winter, it would have died. So we had it all set up. We had walls, 4 walls, a door, a bench, a bed, a fireplace. Not really a fireplace. It was a fire pit. We dug a hole and then made a hole in the wall because it was tilted walls. That's how we made this. We just made like slanted walls. Sorry?
So you made the hole, and then you put a hole in the hole.
No. This was pre-hole. So this was before that. This was just down there, next to a hill around trees. So we hadn't dug at all. And then we put a bench down. So this bench started everything. It was a dead tree. I had sawed in half. I used my hatchet and cut it. Took a long time, couple days to cut it in half. But it was a big tree, and it was just the right size for a bench. So I then had 2 benches, and that's when the bench started. So I laid the bench down and then propped it up with some sticks and stuff. So it was elevated, and it was in the dark side of the hole where it was kind of not as nice. It was a little bit wet because we made this late fall. So things were starting to cool down and start raining. So it was a bit mucky, and let's see. It started growing mushrooms, actually, so we took it out, and we dug down there a bit, and then we moved it back. So it was like a hidden compartment, and from there, winter came, which killed all the brush. So at this point, it was just gross, because we used skunk cabbage leaves and stuff like that, and it became slime. So disgusting house at this point. Tried using mud to fix it. Mud had too much nutrients and roots in it, so it ended up just caving one of the walls in. And then we were in the fort one day, and one of the neighbor's dogs came over and jumped straight through the wall and the roof. Completely just through it. Collapsed everything. So we said, I'm done on this fort. That was the original. And then from there, we still had the small hole. So we decided to remake it out of just logs. So this would be like a solid fort. It wouldn't go away in the winter because it had wooden everything, right? It's like an actual house.
Yeah.
So this is one that Landon actually helped on. He is one of our. If you listen to the first episode, he's on there. He's a good friend. He came down and helped out. He taught me a few knots, which actually led to a lot. But we had a few walls. One of the walls kind of became iconic as far as around here. So that was kind of cool. But we made the wooden structure. We had 3 walls and this weird big side. Because this was a hill, right? And so half the hill was in the little house area. So we decided to start digging that out a bit just to kind of get more room. And we decided to make what we ended up calling the dirt mine. The original idea was to get dirt out of it, get it wet, because this was good dirt. So we would take the dirt out, get it wet, turn it into mud, stick it onto things, and they would harden. Because it did have clay in it. Which is how we ended up making the chimney. So we would do that a lot, and then that is why
I got to go, guys.
Hasta la vista.
Okay. See you, Lemon.
See ya. Check out my YouTube channel at Lemon Rush.
I'm bleeping that.
Posting videos there soon.
Yeah, we're gonna
what?
bleep that.
I'm
Lemon.
bleeping that.
Bruh. Okay.
You
whatever.
know, I'm only gonna bleep you saying goodbye. All right.
Oh, he left. Okay.
Anyways,
But yeah, no, you were telling me about that.
it keeps going. So anyways, I'm just gonna finish it. There's not too much left. So let's see. We had the structure. So we laid out the entrance, so it looked like a bit of a mine, and we hadn't like dug anything. We thought it was so cool at the time, but I had no idea what grown-up me would make. Literally like 2 years after this. So we started digging. Oh, my dog is having issues. Sorry. But we started digging it out a bit. Thought it was kind of cool. Just got a bunch of dirt out of it. And the idea ended up turning into, we stopped going down and we started going forward. So we started making a bit of a cave. And that was the original cave. See, I then had a friend, I don't actually know if he wants me to say his name. So we'll call him GamerChad69. Okay? So GamerChad is...
Craig.
Say
Or
again?
Craig.
Well,
Or
no.
Craig.
Well, I mean, we could, but this was, we're going to actually have him on probably the next podcast. I haven't told you this yet, but he's going to be a guest. He's been a lifetime friend. I've known him forever. But
Nice.
he's been moving around a lot, so don't really know him.
Okay.
You guys don't, I mean. But anyways, he came over for the first time in a long time, and so we decided to make a fire in the hall. It was stupid. No idea why we decided to.
Smoked out the entire
Hotboxed it. Yep.
hot box.
And then the issue with that is we then had to leave, and when we left, gamer Chad69 bumped his head on the roof and caved in half of the entire thing. From there on, it took probably 3 months before I even came back down. I got upset with it. I was angry. I'm just going to say the actual reason I never went back is because he drank my last Pepsi, so I threw a stick at him, and it hit the wall, and the wall fell over. So I got upset because I spent time on that wall, so I didn't come back to that fort. And then a few months later, I decided to come back, redig it, dug it out, and the roof caved in. So did it again. Now this was probably 3 months ago, maybe, that I decided to go again. This time I went down deep. I mean, like I could stand
should
in
have
it.
more support.
Probably 5 feet deep. It just straight
Should
down.
Probably add some.
And here's the issue. I started going forwards. That was my mistake. I didn't leave enough stuff at the top. So if it would have caved, I would have died. So I thought about it for a while, and I made the decision to jump on the roof. I jumped on it. It caved in like I thought it would. And we just had this weird little section missing at that point. It was like so imagine a hill, right? Like just a small hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then take like a U shape out of the hill. Just gone. That's
what it was.
Yeah. And so
Wow.
that led to me laying sticks. You probably have seen the picture, where I started laying sticks around to make like an outline of the shape I wanted, right? Have you seen that picture?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and then I made it bigger and added a bucket. The original idea for the bucket was to I would take like clay things and I would harden them like circles, but it would be like an outline of a circle, so the inside would be hollow, and then I'd just stack those up to make a chimney. Didn't realize how hard that would be. So the bucket remained there. Over time, I eventually dug the thing out. How long do you think that was? Like the span of the hole? I think that was probably 10 feet. No, more, way more. Probably like 15 to 20, honestly. Just the length of it, and then same the other way too. And so this was like a circle. With the U shape was still there for the entrance, but the top of the U was cut out, and that was a circle. Skinny entrance, big area, right?
Yeah.
And so I eventually decided, when I was basically done, I decided, hey, you know what? This bucket's here. I'm going to carve around this bucket and make like a pillar. So the original idea was a pillar that was in the ground to support the roof. We're starting to run out of time, so I'm going to speed this up. But the pillar became... I dug around the pillar, so we had the entire thing dug out at this point, and then there was just this weird pillar. And then I dug into the bottom of it to make a compartment, and I realized this is going to be a chimney. So I hollowed out the middle of the pillar and dug through a little spot, and it was a chimney. We started a fire that day, and the back side of the chimney was skinny, so there wasn't much room. So we threw some dirt on and made it into a bed area. We laid a half log down, like a super clean cut half log with a saw. So it was flat. So we then had a bed, and it was super close to the chimney. So that area would heat up. So that would be really, really nice for winter and stuff, which we didn't get to. But But it was like that. And then we grabbed logs, and this was the original idea. Like when I started laying sticks down, I wanted to do what those Indian guys would do, where they laid logs on top and then leaves on top of logs. So I started laying big, So I started laying big logs on top. Probably a little too big.
And then you put like fern leaves and stuff?
Yeah, and then I would add mostly skunk cabbage leaves, because those are so good for catching rainwater and stuff. And so I then finished everything, and then I started working on the inside. But the roof, as of this point, this was the idea, just to have leaves and skunk cabbage leaves on top of sticks. No dirt. Then it started raining, and then I decided let's put dirt on it. That was stupid. When I say it rained that day, I mean it rained. What was it, 4 inches?
Like Vietnam
It was
War type rain?
It was one day, and we had like 2 to 4 inches or something. It had like 6 inches in Joyce, and this was just crazy amounts of rain. And because I had added so much dirt to the roof, it got really heavy and turned to mud, and the skunk cabbage leaves did their job, and they held the water to a point where it actually... So the way I made the roof is I would attach it to the chimney, the top of the chimney. I'd lay it on top, but it got too heavy, and so the entire side of the chimney collapsed, and so the roof came with it because so much water had piled on the stuff, and it was just a puddle on the roof. And so it took half the chimney down, along with all the mud that was on top, mud at this point, and then the roof flipped. Like it went half of it went down into the hole. So but the bed is still intact.
I'm looking on the Instagram right now. So it was like, so then I'm kind of like watching along. So then you basically took out half the chimney to kind of like the chimney fell out, and then I'm looking at this kind of as how do I explain it? So there's a picture of you with a light, and kind of like the half chimney that you kind of put back together and stuff.
Oh, no, that was
a few benches.
No, that was the chimney hadn't collapsed. That was prime time. That was the perfect time. The roof was in, and it had the dirt on top, and I was gonna start a fire, so I started a fire, and everything was perfect. It was nice and cozy, like actually cozy. It got warm in there. No mosquitoes
And
because
then
the smoke. The smoke went out the chimney, but like the smell of it would keep the mosquitoes out.
And then there's the last picture where I think this is the roof that caved in.
So you can see where it, like you see that weird hole there that's in the middle?
Yeah.
That's the chimney.
Mhm.
That entire side came down. So
Oh.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done down there. Like that was way too much work for that to happen. I'm just no, I can't do it.
Too much work.
That lot of work ended up with no reward because I never got to what I had in mind was I was gonna keep working on this thing to a point where I had wooden walls, a wood or rock floor. I think rock would be awesome. But there was so much clay stuff. I was making like clay pottery. I made a couple bowls, and it was really really cool. And I made a door. The door didn't work. I broke the door. I got angry at the door. Sorry, go
You
ahead.
want to know what you could have done if the hole was still here today and standing? I would have said, done kind of like either do rock walls and kind of do a wood floor and kind of make the floor kind of like, you know, like take long wooden skinny logs,
Yeah.
cut them in half, and use that as the floor.
See, I would have done the opposite. I would have used rocks on the ground and then used clay mixture when it's still soft to put on the like the edges so there's no gaps, and then let it harden with the fire on the inside. And then I would have made the walls. I would have done that. I would have layered them with cut in half.
Kind of like insulation type.
Yeah, and it would have warmed it up and everything. Like I picture this, and it's so cozy with the firelight. You know, it's snowing outside. I've got the chimney, and then I think back to what actually happened. Muddy mess right now. Honestly, if we could do this, if like everyone in the podcast got together for a day, and we all just hung out, we could like actually remake it and do that. Because there'd be like seven of us. That'd be so many people. That'd be plenty to do it.
We could easily do that.
We could have Joe come down. We'd just blur his face.
Yeah, you know, do like the YouTuber thing where we just blur his face.
And we're talking about right now we're talking about doing a little campfire night down here. That would be so fun. I'd grab my guitar. We'd have some Pepsis and Coca-Cola and stuff.
Your mandolin.
Yep.
Bring your mandolin, please.
Music, fire.
Music. And Pepsi.
Yeah. It'd be great.
I might bring a Dr. Pepper.
I was gonna say I can grab some other sodas too beforehand. But yeah. Anyways,
well, this has been a good podcast so far.
Before it ends, we've got another 3 minutes or so. So let's wrap it up with saying check us out on Instagram at Sour Cream and Watermelon, or what I actually use. If you follow us on Twitter, that's where I suggest following us, because that is where I'm going to ask questions and stuff mid-podcast for people to answer, and then we use them for questions people have for us and stuff. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Or you'd ask them before the podcast, you know, be like, what would you do in this situation, or something like that,
or we just ask for topics, you know, that'd be good.
Yeah, or topics, question mark.
Yeah,
just
but
the most likely one, we'll do that.
So check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or not?
Don't forget
Twitter.
That's
what it is. Yeah, merch is nice. We have a Reddit, but it's so new. It currently has 0 followers. Make sure you cop that merch. Teespring /stores/Sour Cream and Watermelon, or something like that. Just look up. Just go on our.
It should be in the link on YouTube. It should be in the link on YouTube.
The description in YouTube. It'll be in this if you're watching it on YouTube or any of the other podcast episodes. Same with all our YouTubes. Check us all out on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. And episode 3, it's coming along.
Episode 3 went pretty well, so thanks guys for having us on and for being there.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yep, this is it. This is an interesting ending.
Cool.
Okay, well, yeah, cool. Epic. Kanye.
Bye.
Goodbye, I guess. This is a bye now.